Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome to Talking Heads, live from San Francisco and AMD's Advancing AI 2026. This is episode 442, I think. I probably should have double-checked that before we went live. This is going to be a little bit of a different episode. You all know the drill when we do this show, but I have someone on the show today that I've been wanting to get on for many, many years. I am very excited to finally have you on. Why don't you introduce yourself? Who are you and where are you from?
Hey, my name is Tobias Mann. I'm the systems editor for The Register. As far as where I hail from, I'm out of Denver.
Yeah, so...
good beer country.
Yes, very good beer country. What is the big one out of Denver?
Voodoo Rangers of New Belgium.
Yeah, New Belgium's out of Denver. There's another one that starts with an A, isn't there? Steve is gonna murder me. It's one of his favorites. One of my other friends who did the show with me.
My memory is better for chips than beer.
Okay, that's fair. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. Like I said, I've been wanting to have you on for many, many years. You and I have met 4, 5, 6 years ago, something like that. I think 2021, I want to say.
Yeah, it was right around the time that I started at the Reg.
Yeah.
We started traveling again and ran right into each other. And
exactly.
Like, oh, hey, there's that YouTuber from who kept me entertained through the pandemic when there was nothing to do other than tinker with old mini PCs and.
That is how I'm known.
Yeah.
But great to finally have you on. We've referenced your articles quite a few times here on this show. You do fantastic work over at the Reg, and couldn't be more excited. But like I said, we're here at AMD's Advancing AI 2026. Full disclosure, they did pay for our plane tickets. That's about it. We're here. No money, no shilling, no anything like that. I can say whatever I want. So can he, within reason. He has editors and people who pays him a paycheck. I don't. So that's about where that ends. Lots of news to get to today. Big event. This event gets bigger and bigger every year. I don't know if AMD has officially disclosed the numbers, but they also didn't give me an NDA for the numbers. So I know this is this their third or fourth that they've done this? I know I've been to all of them.
So their first was 23 was the first Advancing AI.
Okay.
And I remember you busted down the doors to get into that one.
Oh, that's right. I gate crashed that one. That's right.
So however many that is. So this
would be the fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. I busted down the doors to get into that one. And they're like, oh, Jeff's here. Jeff's in town. I was in town for something else and literally walked by the Hilton is where it was at. And I'm like, what? AMD's holding an event? What the crap? And so I literally went to the registration desk and called the PR guy and I went, why wasn't I invited? And he goes, oh, crap, you were supposed to be on that list. Cool. And now I'm on the list, so I'm here every year.
Or so they say.
Yeah.
You got in.
We've had some memorable moments here, doing the podcast here from the show floor. Probably my favorite was Jordan heaving the MI455X on his shoulder and throwing it at my lap on the stream. I was told that can't happen again. Anyway, lots of fun stuff here. Obviously, the big news is probably AMD Helios, otherwise known as the MI455X. We've got some Zen 6 talk. A little bit more details were revealed about Zen 6. We've got... what else was on our list? I'm forgetting. Oh, the MI350P, PCI Express expander.
Yeah.
So want to just start at the top?
Yeah, Helios. We've known this was coming for a year now, but because it's like, let's bury the lead and not tell the technical press about the giant 250 kilowatt rack. Yeah. If you happen to have that much power in your Homelab, you might want to call a plumber. you might also need a few $1 million to buy the thing.
Yeah.
Top level specs, 72 GPUs.
Yeah.
Each of which will do 40 petaflops of FP4, so really, really fast AI, if you care about that.
Yeah, 40 petaflops FP4, 20 petaflops FP8, so, so still, no slouch there. 432 gigs HBM4 per card.
Yes. So you do the math on that, 72 of those, and you're talking about some big models.
Yeah.
And some big customers, because this thing is not going to be cheap.
No. This is the AI server that's basically designed for. They say it'll do inference too, but this is primarily a training box. This is the box that's going to go out and it's going to chew on the multi-trillion parameter models, get them trained, get them trained down to the models that you and I can all use. These are. I'm trying to think of the right word for scale.
I think the old term was hyperscale.
Hyperscale, exascale.
Yeah, we're getting into some wild territory with the deployments, and then the size of the data centers that they're going into. Mm-hmm. OpenAI is supposedly going to buy 6 gigawatts of just this system.
Yeah.
This is not for you or me. This is never going to be in our home lab.
Right.
This is not a PCI cart that you can plop into, an old.
No, these are purpose-built units. The really crazy thing is we're so used to server and enterprise hardware being traditional 19-inch rack. I mean, even all of NVIDIA's stuff are all traditional 19-inch rails. This is not a traditional rack setup.
It's not even OCP.
Right.
21-inch open rack. It's double that.
It's double OCP. The racks for MI455 Helios are 42-inch wide. I've seen a couple of the units. They've got a couple displayed on the show floor here. They also had one on stage with Lisa this morning. They are 42 inches wide. They were about 3 feet deep.
Yep.
And 160 pounds each.
Each of the 18 compute blades.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget your server lift.
Yeah.
Your back will protest quite loudly if you do.
Hopefully more than one instance of crisis. Actually, we had this conversation earlier while we were kind of preparing for the show. Really interesting things about all these AI cards is they're still calling them graphics cards, but that really is a misnomer at this point in time.
Right.
They are based on graphics technology. I mean, CDNA is an offshoot of RDNA. CUDA is an offshoot of NVIDIA's processing for gaming. While the processing units are basically the same, the APIs are no longer compatible. The hardware level registers for things like DirectX and OpenGL and whatnot.
None of that really exists.
Yeah.
Well, really, what these things are is they're big SIMD engines.
Mm-hmm.
They're great for doing a ton of parallel processing, which is great if you want to push pixels across the screen, but it's even more lucrative right now to, sell a ton of them to Oracle or whoever, and there's no graphics pipeline. So you can crunch numbers very quickly. You're not playing Crysis on this.
Unfortunately. I did have the crazy idea of, like Jensen has said for a long time, with DLSS, like eventually there won't be any rasterized pipeline. It'll all be AI. You just tell it what it should look like and it'll generate it in real time. There is a possibility eventually these could be like worked back into a graphics pipeline.
Oh yeah, there's no reason you can't. And we do, if you look at what NVIDIA has done over the years, an RTX 5090 is the same silicon as a RTX Pro 6000.
Right.
There's less memory on the 5090, but it's the same silicon. The clocks are tuned differently for power reasons, but they keep those cards around because even in this AI world that we live in, people might want to feed video footage into a system for training, and they need video cards to do it fast enough.
Right.
And so there's still a need for graphics. Hopefully it won't completely go away, but the approach and the architectural differences with AMD mean that The two are very separate, whereas there's more similarities between what you see in your gaming PC and what you might see in a rack in a data center.
Yeah. So yeah, 432 gigabytes per GPU. Do you remember the number for the 72 rack? My math is fuzzy right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. 432 times 72, 31 terabytes. That's right.
Yeah.
31 terabytes per rack unit.
What's that in market pricing for HBM4?
Oh God, I don't even want to know.
It's probably like $4 million or something like that.
I bet it's higher.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah, 31 terabytes, and very similar to competitive offerings from NVIDIA with like B200. You can use a single GPU domain across all 72 in the single rack.
Yeah. So in terms of like comparison with what NVIDIA has right now, one of these GPUs, one for one, is about 15% faster than the chip NVIDIA hasn't shipped yet.
Right.
On paper.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing is AMD is being actually really honest about all this. Is there's the peak flops, which it's a mathematical formula based on clock speeds and execution units,
bandwidth,
and all of that. And then there's what you can do in the real world. And today it was really surprising that AMD got on stage and was like, we hit 50% of claimed performance in the real world.
Yeah.
And we're proud of it.
We're really proud of it. Here's the numbers that we actually tested in production with models that are running.
Right. And so that just tells you that AMD is really confident that that number is going to look better than what NVIDIA can show you in a couple of months.
Yep. Yeah, because I guess on Monday, NVIDIA pulled the curtain off of Vera, and a lot of the talk was NVIDIA trying to say we have the densest CPU rack in the industry. And so, dude, you didn't even have the densest CPU rack when Zen 5 was a thing. We got no performance metrics, but they did pull a little bit more of the veil off of Zen 6 today, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. One thing in particular stuck out to me, not even the increase in core count for Zen 6C, the amount of L3 cache. AMD's largest CPU, the 9965 Zen 5C Turin, 192 core, 384 thread, that has 384 megabytes of L3 cache. And it's the most cache that they've ever crammed into a CPU.
It's one exception to that. And it was only deployed for HPC customers. Genoa X had over a gigabyte.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But it was not a mainstream product.
Yeah.
It was pretty unusual if you ever saw one outside of the lab.
Intel also never shipped a 288 core CPU, so we'll.
Yes. They will this year. They haven't already.
Yeah.
But yes.
But they said their top-end SKU for Zen 6C, AMD Venice now, is going to ship with 1,024 megabytes of L3 cache. And in fact, they also announced that their Venice X CPU, which is coming sometime next year, 1,152 megabytes.
Yeah.
And that's the 3D V-cache model too.
Yes. So
I want that.
They have so much silicon on the package now that they're hitting a gigabyte of L3 without 3D V-cache. And then when Venice X comes, the successor to Genoa X, now we're doing that, but we're doing it with 3D V-cache again, but the core counts are lower and the frequencies go to what, 5.15 gigahertz?
Yeah, 5.15 on Venice X, 5 gigahertz on the Zen 6C. That was the thing that was most surprising to me, was even on AMD's efficiency cores, they are screaming now.
Right. Calling them efficiency cores at this point is
it's a misnomer. Yeah.
And it causes confusion because for Intel, they really are efficiency cores.
Yeah.
Whereas for AMD, they're clocked reduced cores.
Yeah.
Because they can gram more of them onto the silicon, but they can't clock as high when they do that. So people look at them, it's like, yeah, it's an efficient core. It's like, no, it does everything the normal one does.
Yeah, it has all the same instruction sets. It has just slightly more efficiency tuned.
Yes.
It is technically a different design on the tile, but the architecture remains the same. But super, super cool announcement. And the cool thing is, obviously AMD has said nothing about this. A lot of those architecture designs are going to be coming down to consumer products as well.
Right. So on stage today, we heard that one of the chips was going to have 8 compute chiplets, each with 12 cores on it.
Yeah.
I will almost guarantee that is what we'll see on Zen 6 Ryzen.
Yeah.
When we get it, and so that if that turns out to be the case, that's 24 cores.
That's a 24-core desktop Ryzen.
Yes.
Yep. The other thing that AMD has done before is on their 4004 Epyc lineup is they had a higher core count model using Zen 5C. I'm wondering if, given the performance boost that we're seeing, clocks up to 5 gigahertz, we might see a Zen 6C desktop core of some kind.
Right. I mean, if it's a
pure speculation on my part. I want to be clear.
Yeah. Pure speculation. If they took the other die off the high core count, the 256 core one,
yeah,
that a single die would be 32 core.
32 core. Yeah.
And they could do it.
Yeah.
It would really muddy things up in terms of where Threadripper fits, but
that's already muddied.
it's an expensive platform.
It really is. Yeah, we're flying through this.
Well, what do you want to see from, based on what you saw today, what do you want to see from Zen 6 Ryzen?
Zen 6 Ryzen.
And when do you think you're going to see it?
Ooh, that's an even better question. They did say we would be seeing Venice probably sometime late this year. So sometime probably Q4. They were really cagey with me, and it's only some of the Venice SKUs that were confirmed. Some of the Venice SKUs were pushed out until 2027. Even some of them were H2 2027.
Yeah.
So a year plus out in release. Do I have the dates? Yeah, Venice 9006 SP6, which is a performance optimized SKU that's coming out H2 2027. Venice X is coming out H1 2027. Yeah. Venice LP sometime in 2027. They were all very cagey. The only one that we are getting potentially by the end of this year is your standard Zen 6, Zen 6C main lineup. Yeah. Sometime late this year. What that means for desktop, I don't know that we're going to see desktop this year.
No, I almost guarantee that we won't.
Yeah.
It's getting really late in the cycle. They would have to ramp it fairly early because they want to hit the Christmas cycle typically.
Exactly.
And also there's the reality that PCs are really expensive because of memory.
Yeah.
So if you bring a new CPU to market, it's like, yes, there's a lot of fanfare, and then everybody goes, well, yeah, all right.
It's really cool.
Afford the memory.
You can't buy it. Yeah. The fact that memory is the predominant cost in a PC build or anything you buy off the shelf today is such a damper on so many different industries. And I've talked to a number of analysts here this week. Some of them are kind of hopeful that some amount of regulation or hammer throwing will come down from some government somewhere in the world that will prevent all these companies from buying up the stock at 4 times the price of fair market value. I tend to be a little bit more on the pessimistic side, thinking we're going to be in this for a longer haul than we'd like to be.
I would agree, and the analysts I've talked to will back that up. The reality is memory takes a long time to ramp. Mm-hmm. Memory manufacturers are notoriously conservative about when they ramp.
Yeah.
It's a boom-bust cycle, so they make a bunch of money when prices go up and volumes go down, and then they reinvest that money in new fabs. Those fabs come online, it craters the price.
Yeah.
But that's usually because the cyclical nature of it means that people buy in waves.
Yeah.
And right now, the AI market just buys whatever is there. They don't care where it is in the cycle, and so they're looking at 2028 before it even remotely can have any kind of correction. And that's just because it's going to take that long for a handful of new fabs under construction now to come online.
Yeah. There's a couple of fabs coming online in China. We actually talked about this last week on the show. CXMT is showing some real good promise. And
if the handful of lawmakers who are trying to get them set on entity lists and banned from being put in American consumer products.
Yeah, Apple is lobbying hard to be able to utilize a Chinese memory manufacturer. There's also the Chinese perspective of this, of China is also trying to ramp AI production, and they might insist that, you know, a large percentage of their allocations go domestically.
Yep.
And so even though there's a new fab spinning up in China, that doesn't mean they're going to sell to Western companies.
No, there's no guarantee of any of that. On the topic of consumer a little bit, we also heard about a new AI Halo. I know you just reviewed it with. Yeah. And so we're getting Gorgon Halo, which is going to, speaking of memory and consumer products that seem beyond anyone's means.
Yeah.
If AI Halo was what, $4,000?
$4,000. Yeah.
If that felt out of reach, well, Gorgon Halo is going to have 192 now.
It's going to have 50% more memory.
Yeah.
The most conservative guess that I've heard from an analyst was $5,200. I think it might be 55 or 6.
Well, it depends on how badly things devolve.
Yeah.
Because,
so Gorgon Halo is the next generation of Strix Halo. So if you watched my Ryzen AI Halo review a couple of weeks ago, or any of my Strix Halo coverage that I've done here on the channel, that is their consumer-facing, like, AI box, like put it on your desk, be a companion, or a mini server or something like that.
Yeah, built to kind of compete with the DGX Sparks or the GB10 boxes that you got from Dell.
Exactly. Yeah. So Zen 5 mobile cores, 16 core, 32 thread, clock's pretty darn high, but the secret sauce is 40 compute units of RDNA 3.5 with up to 128 gigabytes of LPDDR5X.
Yeah.
And so, fantastic little local AI box. If you guys watch my video, I had a pretty fun time playing around with it. And I've actually got some more project ideas just based off of that video. So subscribe, stay tuned, all that fun stuff. Gorgon Halo is essentially that, but Zen 6.
No, it's still Zen 5.
Oh, that's right, it's still Zen 5.
It's a clock bump.
Okay.
So we get, I think, 100 megahertz across the board, the CPU, GPU, and CPU, GPU, and the NPU also for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. That's right, it's 50 tops of instead of 35 or something like that.
I can't even remember I can't remember the last time I managed to get the NPU to do anything. And the ones we reviewed were running Linux, so I don't think we even could get the NPU to do much, if anything.
I think it's part of the driver stack, but none of the AI model software for Linux utilizes it. So.
And I don't think even AMD pre-installed any of that driver stack either.
I don't think they did. Yeah, I know Copilot will use the NPU, but I think that's the only immediate consumer-facing thing.
And at least in that respect, our review units run on Debian Linux, but you can put Windows on it. It's a fully supported experience, but you have to get the thing in the first place, and it's just it's horrible because there's a lot of cool things that you can do with local AI, but it's a really tough sell when the entry point is $4,000.
8 months ago, Strix Halo boxes were selling for less than $2,000 with the same exact hardware.
Yeah,
and the memory ramp alone has caused this to be $4,000, and I said this with the Steam Machine, I said this with the AI Halo review. This isn't the companies being greedy, this is just the market price for memory right now. That's not me shilling, that's not me apologizing, that's not me saying it's a good deal, it's just saying that's what it is. And it sucks. But Gorgon Halo, on top of the modest spec bumps to various things, ups the memory controller capacity up to 192 gigabytes.
So now you're talking about 300-ish billion parameters at a decent quant, and you can start doing some interesting stuff like running DeepSeek at home.
Yeah.
Or if you get bored with that really quick, it does run Windows, the GPU is very beefy, and it can be a very expensive gaming PC if you need it to be.
One of my Strix boxes might be a gaming PC, running Bazite.
I now have two. I have two Strix boxes that I have right now, and I'll have to send one back soon. But I looked at it as like I could use this as a gaming PC for a month and a half and I was just looking at it as like no, that would be wrong, right?
It's so much fun.
I'd probably use it more.
It's a lot of fun. It's actually fairly competent. Did I do gaming review on Strix? I think I did a brief Windows one. I might have to do another one. Maybe fire up SteamOS on it and see how that rocks.
There you go.
That might be fun.
It's an x86 box, so it'll run just fine.
Exactly.
In fact, on Ubiquity's hardware, it shows up as a Steam Deck. The UEID it gets detected as a Steam Deck. I'm like, no, that's not right, but
that's funny.
Nice try.
Yakto chimes in and says, "Hey Kraft, why is Jordan not stealing silicon?" They didn't let him in the front door this year. He's been banging on the windows, but we tried. Actually, I should have flagged Aaron down there and see if he had the Venice in his pocket still. That might have been fun.
That would have been
fun. We did have a member chat from Jay, member for 18 months. Thank you so much, Jay. It's just generally very gratifying to see that AMD appears to have no intention of letting off the gas. I'm of two minds about that comment. This is going to be like one of the negative things that I see, or that I say today, is I'm looking at. I got asked by a couple of the PR reps from AMD, did you get everything you wanted out of this week? And I said, I think so. And he goes, well, what does that mean? And I said, I stopped short of doing dedicated videos on Helios or MI455X or anything like that. It's not our wheel. Hey, cheese.
Hello, how's everybody doing? Good?
Did you bring me a beer?
No. You didn't text me. You didn't text me. If you would have, I would have gone.
You're good.
So, but no, I have an interview to go do. So
excellent. All right, have fun.
See ya.
Yeah.
I told him I stopped short of covering like dedicated videos on data center Halo products. It's just not interesting to me, and probably not interesting to most of my audience. I'm more data center all the way down to consumer, and so give me Epyc, give me everything under that. We got some Epyc news, but we got only about 5% more information than we had before, based on their Venice sneak peek last year at last year's event.
You're right. They've been trickling out information. And
yeah.
I was disappointed for the same reasons as you, because AI is driving markets, and so I have to pay attention to it. But it is nice when I get to focus on something that is enterprise-centric, or even cloud-centric at this point, from a data center standpoint, because they're products that people touch. Normal people in IT will go out, they will spin up a VM in AWS for a purpose, they have a way of touching that. Helios is like, yes, they might touch it, but you'll never know.
It's just not a product that. It's really cool technology, and the tech geek in me like freaks out about it, but I can't be excited about that. And yeah, you guys should go buy one. No, like that's not the audience I talk to. The negative part comes in here is we touched a little bit on like the Venice release cycle for Epyc. This is going to be a long, drawn-out release cycle, starting Q4-ish sometime this year, with releases of the same product planned all the way through the end of next year. Which also means next year we're not getting Zen 7. Which also means next year that, while I don't think AMD has taken their foot off the gas per se, as far as like moving the company forward, there's definitely a different focus that is not CPU or consumer heavy right now. And it makes a lot of sense given no one can buy anything.
Well, and if you look at the competitive market right now, in terms of enterprise products, they're basically the only one that anybody that can be taken seriously. Intel's last product was launched in 2024. Diamond Rapids is supposedly going to come this year.
I haven't heard anything.
But it's 1 thread per core.
Yeah.
So if you're running any kind of virtualization that's licensed based on that, the economics don't look great.
Yeah. Are we getting Clearwater Forest this year?
Yes.
Okay.
We are getting Clearwater, but that's one of those other weird products that is like,
Yeah.
At Computex, I wrote that Intel accidentally stumbled into making a great agentic CPU.
Yeah.
Because outside of a couple of service providers,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense for anybody. There's no customer for it.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be less and less to talk about hardware reviews, just in general that, like you said, I think you summed it up well, that people can actually touch.
Right.
And that's what I'm disappointed on. And it has to do with the market, but it's also the focus of these companies in conjunction with market activity. It sucks.
Right, and you've had a lot of fun. Sometimes we have to look at these things like 7 years out. Be like,
Yeah.
so when is this going to come off of the recyclers, the back of the truck?
Yeah.
I can buy this for $100 off eBay, and
My wheelhouse.
yeah. But unfortunately, a lot of the GPUs now that are being sold into that don't even have graphics pipelines. So
Yeah.
Like if you want to run local AI, burning a bunch of power is not a big deal. Where I'm living now, it's not so bad. But
Yeah.
where for a lot of folks, it's like 25, 30 cents a kilowatt and
Right.
700 watt GPU.
Yeah. Or in the case of these enterprise GPUs, you've got Blackwell 300 that you can't even plug into a residential outlet. It's a $2,000 or 2,000 watt per GPU, 4 GPUs on a tray. My car charges slower than that. It's just there's less and less that we're going to be able to touch, even though our market still exists. Yeah. A couple more super chats. Jay chimes in with $5. Thank you very much, Jay. My local AI build recommendation has gone from 2 or 4 RTX 5060 Ti's to 2 or 4 modded 20 gig 3080s from Alibaba. Around 40% better performance, more VRAM, 25% cheaper. Yeah, I've looked at some of the modded cards before. I've been a little hesitant to pull the trigger, mainly because I'm still very much trying to figure out where I'm going to fit AI into my own workflow. And until I find where that niche is at, I don't really want to invest. And so part of the reason I'm using both the GB10s and the AI Halo at home is I'm trying to figure out how that work is going to work.
Right, yeah.
But that's also something I'm hoping to be able to answer by the end of the year is, hey, this is now part of or here's some of the things that I developed that are now part of my workflow.
The nice thing is that, Jack Hugh talked about it on stage today, is that the small models have actually gotten to a point where they're not just toys anymore.
Yeah.
They're still not replacements for ChatGPT or
for
Claude
the frontier models.
Yeah, for any of the frontier models. But they're good enough that if you want to run like a local coding agent, it can be somewhat competent.
Can you ask Aaron if he has that chip in his pocket still?
No.
No, sorry.
Come on, Aaron. Come on.
I'm sorry, guys. I know there's a phone.
There was one in the press room, and there was one.
Alex took it.
Alex, okay.
Alex took it.
Where's the placard at? There was one with the placard.
Yeah, the placard. I know what the placard is.
Go get the placard.
Well, no, because you're about to start right now, and in 3 minutes, you need to focus. Focus. I would go grab it if I didn't have.
Fine, Aaron, you go get the
I
placard.
have to be with him.
Oh, come on.
We're trying to get the chips.
We're trying to get the
Sorry,
chips.
guys.
Yeah.
I will get
sorry.
the chips for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. My PR rep has one job around here. Anyway, yeah, what were we talking about? I lost the plot.
We were talking about small models being good enough.
Small model, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, a couple modded 3080s is not a bad way to do it.
Yeah.
you are missing out on some of the newer data types on Ampere, and you won't necessarily notice that on like Olama or Llama C++, but if you start playing with VLLM, which I really do recommend for multi-GPU scenarios, your performance is so much better. Then you will start to miss those features before long, because those cards are getting pretty old.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting to be, 6 years old for Ampere at this point.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like they're that old, but yes, they are 6 years old. They are 3 generations out. It's starting to be time to consider moving on if you need bleeding edge stuff.
The 9700 or the R9700, the 32 gig AMD card is a pretty decent value. I want to play with the B70 from Intel, but looking at some of what Wendell's been doing, the software stack looks about as bad as the last time I touched Arc for any of this.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard as well. We were talking to Wendell about his battle matrix. He's got the 4 B70s in a box, and he's been trying to get it to do things, and it's not doing things.
Yes, I remember talking to Intel, and my PR rep, who was fantastic, he was like, okay, I think I can lock it down for you, and I was going to get battle matrix.
Yeah.
And then it came back, and for whatever reason, it was like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
And then I saw Wendell got it. It was like, the software is a mess, and you don't want me benchmarking this. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I got a B70 through other means. Yocto loaned me one of his, and I wasn't going to test AI on it, so I did some vGPU stuff with it, which was a lot of fun. And I hope they keep going with that, because it's one of the few interesting consumer approachable things that I get to talk about these days.
Yeah, and if you want to do VDI, it's actually awesome.
Yeah. Green sends over $2. What's the highlight? What was the most interesting? That's a good question.
I think we'll have wildly different answers too.
I think we will too. I'm scrolling down my list here. I'm trying to think. I'm going to say what the most interesting thing to me is probably the MI350P. We got. They announced it back in May. It was a very quiet announcement, and I actually missed that announcement entirely. And so I showed up, and I went, oh, they've got some MI210s up on top of one of these boxes. Wait, why does that say a 3 in front of it? It blew me away. MI350P, PCI Express version of MI350.
Yeah.
It's the same core. It's the same 144 gigs of HBM3E.
Yeah, it's basically an MI355.
Yeah.
Cut right down the middle.
Yeah.
And you just get that half hemisphere. And it's what, a 600-watt card?
Yeah.
It's, it's the kind of thing that in 7 years I'm going to be watching eBay for, because...
Oh, yes. Yeah. But I didn't see any prices announced with it either. I'm
going to hazard a guess about $20,000.
Yeah. I was going to be a little bit more generous and say 16. I think it'll be...
Maybe.
Yeah. If you look over at like Blackwell 6000 Pro, those are going for between 9 and 10.
No, they're up to 13 is MSRP now.
13 is MSRP?
Yeah.
Okay, so they did increase. Okay.
The memory prices on GDDR7, 96 gigs was going to be expensive no matter what.
Yeah. No, I knew they were 10 grand already.
Living in Colorado, we have a Micro Center in Denver.
Yeah.
And I walked past that card sitting right below MSRP at like $8,000.
Yeah.
So many times, and I was just like, I can't justify this.
Yeah.
I can't justify spending 3 mortgage payments.
No kidding. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, 13,000 out. Yeah, I think you're probably right. It's probably going to be right around 20. Because Blackwell 6000 is still using GDDR7. This is HBM on package.
Yeah, it's
on
more
the
than
MI350P.
It's more than double the memory bandwidth. It's about what, 4 gigabytes a sec, or 4 terabytes a second of memory bandwidth, if I remember correctly.
I'm going to look that up. MI350P.
I think it is 4 terabytes a second.
credit to Tech Power Up. 8.2.
I don't think that's right, but because it's half. It's a half.
Is it half?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no. This is the MI350P. This is the PCI Express version.
Yeah, we were just giving credit to them. I think it's half of that.
Okay. Still, 4.1.
Yeah.
What's 4 terabytes per second among friends? Yeah.
And it's a modern card. You have
Right.
you have FP4 support all the way down there, so you can run. You're not at any disadvantage to NVIDIA with Blackwell having that. It's a completely modern card.
Yeah.
If you want to do AI, or you have a HPC workload that can run on Instinct, which most HPC workloads do now.
Yeah.
It might be a good workstation card if you can get enough air through the thing.
Yeah.
It might be a little noisy though.
Oh, I guarantee it's going to be noisy. I'm actually wondering if they'll send me a pair of them over from my Turin box, because if we want to demo AI finally, like what is possible in a 2U box, there's no better box to do it in.
Yeah.
So
that'd be good.
I'm gonna have to call some people.
I mean, they did say that Turin, until Venice gets here, Turin is the best agentic CPU. I mean, surely they'd want to demo that, right?
Surely, right. Yeah, I mean, my Turin 9965s will still do 4.7 gigahertz at 768 threads. So how many users do we want to throw at that?
Oh, I mean, I think we, open it up to the community and then just, simulate a few thousand more.
Yeah. A lot of you guys know I have been trying more and more to talk to companies about, let me benchmark it, but then also let me just open it up and let people tinker with it and figure out what their experience is. I think that is such a valuable thing, and no one really does that.
Yeah.
I did get a couple of ears perked up when I talked to people here, so although I've gotten ears perked up before and that still hasn't materialized in much. But if we can make it a thing, all it takes is one, and then I can prove a use case. So
right.
we'll see what happens. Yeah, MI350P for me. What do you think was your best?
So
Or did I take yours?
No. I was pretty excited to see it because my opinion is that card was desperately needed.
Yeah.
Until we got that card, if you were an enterprise, the smallest unit of GPU compute that you could get from AMD was 8 GPUs.
Yeah.
So, which is just a lot. You're talking about like $350,000 to $500,000 box.
Yeah.
If you don't already know what you're going to do with it,
Yeah.
That's a really, really tough sell.
Yeah.
No, for me, Helios was definitely the full breakdown on how they're doing that.
Yeah.
NVIDIA has had a rack scale platform for 2 years-ish now.
Yeah.
Does
Hopper count?
No, Hopper.
Okay.
Well, Hopper kind of counted.
Yeah. I was going to say, where are you drawing that line?
Because there was GH200.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
And they did do a 256 GPU scale up cluster. Mm-hmm. It was about an entire data center row.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
16 some racks.
Yeah.
It was tremendously power hungry. I think they had to use optical cabling instead of copper flyovers on the back of the rack.
Yeah.
So this was like scale up, but it didn't look like it was a scale up system. It didn't belong.
Yeah.
But Blackwell was the properly packaged, non-experiment, built for AI. Hopper, as people forget, is like, yeah, it was a pretty decent AI card. Mm-hmm. It was not built for that.
Yeah.
It was built to do old school machine learning, but mostly scientific computing.
Yeah, scientific, financial, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
DoD or DOE nuclear simulations to make sure the bombs will still go off.
It was a phenomenal particle physics accelerator.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's what Hopper was built for, and then they found this other market that they had been preparing for. But Blackwell was the first proper rack scale architecture. And AMD has taken 2 years to figure it out. Mm-hmm. It looks wildly different from a physical standpoint. It's twice as wide, but then you start looking into it, it's very, very similar on the inside. 72 GPUs, similar, the way the GPUs are all connected to each other, they can all talk to each other. There's no they're switched, but it's not the way that you think of it. Every GPU is connected to every switch.
Yeah.
And so they can one hop to any other GPU.
Yep.
Is how the magic works.
One hop with automatic failover and error detection and a whole bunch of other really cool background things as well.
So also AMD learned from the 2 years of NVIDIA pushing this ahead, because some of that functionality wasn't quite there yet in Blackwell, and it will be in Vera Rubin.
Yeah.
But it's impressive to see that AMD has been able to catch up so quickly in that space. And then just the logistics of just wrangling that much compute. I was surprised that they told us how much power the rack will pull.
Yeah.
It was 250, about 250 kilowatts.
Which is notably under what they've been quoting B300 at 350.
B300 is...
Wasn't it 350?
No. Vera Rubin is expected to be about 250 kilowatts.
Okay.
For the rack, with 72 GPUs.
Yeah.
And then Vera Rubin Ultra, which might be having some issues, allegedly, was supposed to be 600 kilowatts in a rack.
That's right, 600. Okay, that's the number I'm thinking of.
B300, I don't think they ever disclosed what the rack power was, but I think the assumption is about 180.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Vera Rubin NVL 72. This is just Google spitting shit out. 190 to 230 kilowatt per rack. And then Blackwell NVL 72. 132. Yeah.
They range because the OEMs can...
that's GB200.
GB200, yeah. B200 with the is 8 GPUs, that's a 14.4, I think.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that tracks.
So, yeah, more power than my Homelab can have, more power than my car can take.
Yeah. We have the same car. We both have a Kia EV9.
Yes.
100 kilowatt hour battery. We could power a Vera Rubin for about 20 minutes. If you can get the amperage out of it.
Which unfortunately you can't.
Right.
Unless you want to Mad Max the thing.
Well, I mean, it is just DC.
Yeah. We would only need to get, 48 volts out of it, and we could power one of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally possible. I mean,
what would your wife think of that?
Hey, honey, don't drive anywhere. I need to power this AI server for a minute.
Just a minute.
It's going to take you 10 hours to recharge.
Don't touch that. It's live.
Yeah, I think it was Dell actually had one of their boxes out with the DC nodes sticking out the back of it. They had one of the ultra wides sitting over there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's neat how they're put together, because it's if you've ever seen the old Blade, you've played with some of the Blade servers before.
Some of my favorites, yeah.
It's just like a really, really big Blade server.
Yeah. It's a Blade server that's almost 4 feet wide. It's so much fun. Let's see. We've got a couple more super chats here. Vince, Circuit Rewind, $10. Thank you so much. Insert joke about bubbles, or I mean volcanoes exploding.
I do hope that the volcano nicks don't erupt spontaneously in the system.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Abdul, member for 64 months, thank you so much. Will there ever be DDR6 or DDR7 for consumers? Oh, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
We actually got into a conversation last night about the potential about reusing HBM for, there's going to be HBM spin up, and so a byproduct of that might be we start seeing some consumer products starting to utilize HBM if they're not fully taken up capacity-wise by enterprise. Although I also don't think that's going to happen because the chips are already spoken for.
Well, the power and cost. I mean, the cost would have to come way, way down.
Yeah.
Right now, one of those chiplets is like $1,600.
Yeah.
So it's like, 36 gigs.
Yeah.
You thought DDR5 was expensive.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan chimes in. Jordan's Tech Junk, $2 Canadian. Thank you so much. Fun Police took the chips. Yes. Yeah. Strangely enough, Jordan wasn't pounding on the window, so yeah. If you were watching the beginning of the show, you'll get that joke, Jordan. Zeus chimes in for $2. Thank you very much, Zeus. We have Wendell at home, Yao. His name is Yocto. And Yocto says, and don't call me Shirley. Yocto, GH200, the okayest CPU nodes. Yeah. Can we even qualify them as that?
There was Grace.
Yeah, there was Grace. I did do a little performance testing on the Grace that is in the GB10s.
Okay, yeah.
And best I could put it, what's funny is it's a 20-core, 20-thread. Raptor Lake 1300K was a 16-core, 20-thread. Thread for thread, they lined up almost identically with AVX workloads. So if you want like a good, like, where is Grace at right now, thread per thread as like an equivalency, it's about a 13600K.
And this is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Because
we're also crossing platforms and
right. The Grace in GB10 is not quite the same Grace that's in the data center stuff.
Right.
But architecturally, it actually might be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because I think that the mobile CPU can actually pull more power per core.
Yeah.
My experience was pretty similar in non-AVX type workloads, Neon, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was very, very similar to Zen 5. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you hit any kind of AVX type workload, AMD ran away with it.
Yeah.
By like wide margins.
Yeah. That's kind of why I equated it to like a 13600K. It's a good CPU, but it's also not competitive with the last generation or two of like bleeding edge stuff. It's solid. It's very solid.
Yeah. Which is going to be very interesting when RTX Spark, which is the same chip, comes out.
Yeah, the NV1 and N1, N1X. There it is.
The thing going for that though is it's being pushed towards consumers.
Yeah.
And so most consumers aren't really hitting the CPU for AVX.
Yeah.
In fact, for mobile, it's actively discouraged because they get hot when you do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of wattage pouring through those chips when you start engaging all of the transistors that enable that workflow. I'm curious to see where NVIDIA lands with pricing once they actually start shipping N1 devices. I've been trying to get AMD for a couple of years to do a similar APU package. Like, look, we have Strix Halo, and Strix Halo's a wonderful chip. I think it is vastly overbuilt for what consumers need, especially if you're looking at the gaming market and things like that. 16 cores, there ain't no game outside of City Skylines or Flight Sim that uses 16 cores. 6 cores. Steam got this right. Valve got this right. You don't need much more than that, especially if your aim is like a competent 1080 or 1440 gaming PC.
We did eventually get Strix Halo with 8 cores.
Yes, yeah. There is an 8-core variant out now. The 392 Plus, I believe, is the SKU on that. It's either 388 or 392.
Yeah,
it's something like that.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
With the full 4060S 40 compute unit. They do exist. I've never seen one in a product.
No, they exist on paper.
Yeah,
and you're right. That was the problem with Strix, was that you could get lower core counts, but you lost the CUs, so the gaming performance tanked.
Yeah,
you're compromising big time.
Yeah, it's cool that it's still a unified memory platform, but they were trying to push it towards AI workflow. But it's like it's a 16 gig thing at that point. Like I don't care anymore.
Right.
I would love to see AMD put a little bit of thought and time the same way Valve did as far as what do consumers actually need. I would love to see a 6-core with a 40 CU or even a 32 CU variant come out. Or give me a Zen 5C, Zen 6C with a 40 CU attached to it.
Give us what? That would be 32 cores, and I mean at that point,
that's still insanity.
Yeah, at that point, they might be risking cannibalizing Threadripper.
Yeah. But on like a mobile device or on a laptop or something like that?
Well, that's the thing about
Yeah.
Strix Halo is it's not a mobile. Right now, it's not a mobile core.
HP disagrees.
Well, it clocks.
Yeah.
Like a 9950X.
Yeah.
And so, it's 200 megahertz slower, but it can't sustain it because there's not enough power.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it is mobile in that respect.
Yeah.
But you can put 128 watts through it. So granted, that's mostly for the GPU.
Right. But I would love to see some package come out from AMD that is geared towards gamers, all-in-ones, mini PCs, that is APU based, that's not $4,000 or $2,000. I said this when Strix first launched, when we started reviewing it, 12 or 18 months ago. It's an amazing package. I think they're also missing the mark a bit on a market they could be capitalizing on.
Right. They built the handheld chips.
Yeah.
They're not that far off from getting, to where we have a Steam machine-like APU that you can just put into anything.
Yeah. The 7940U was the chip of choice for quite a few years, with 8 cores, 16 threads, and 16 compute units of RDNA 3. And then they're like, oh, we built a new one. It's 16 cores and 16 compute units. I'm like, no, go the other way. Give me 8 cores. Give me 8 cores, but with 32 compute units.
Right.
You don't need the CPU horsepower for gaming.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Remember when computers were fun
I do. Yeah.
and affordable?
I do. It seems like it was just yesterday.
Very spotty kind of availability. It's like, because it's hard to forget the pandemic where you couldn't get a GPU to save your life because everything was being scraped to mine crypto at that
Yeah. This is the 4th hardware unavailability in the last 7 years.
Yeah,
And this is the worst one by far? Because the hardware exists, you just can't buy it.
the GPU shortage was rather short compared to what we've already been through.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not ending anytime soon.
No.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have in chat here? I'm currently gearing up to mod the BIOS of an ASRock Z77E ITX to see if it can get enough bar space to use a Tesla M40. Have you ever looked into tools like Rebar as a fun side project? I'm actually actively investigating that for a fun side project I have right now. Yes, that is a thing. I'm not going to spoil anything because there are current ears in the chat that I don't want to let know, but just by saying that, they already know. So, but yes, I have looked into doing Rebar stuff on platforms that shouldn't have Rebar.
And it's a huge pain in the butt, especially if you're trying to do any kind of pass-through Proxmox.
Yeah.
Because for a while, any kind of GPU pass-through would strip resizable bar, and you were fine if you were on NVIDIA or AMD. It could work with it, but you throw an Intel card in there, and it was just like it had no idea what the heck to do with it.
Yeah. I can say it is neither of those things. There is not a Proxmox aspect to it, and it's not an Intel card. It is still a platform that probably shouldn't have Rebar, though.
Look forward to that.
Yeah. Yakto says he already knows. Skull says, oh, we know. Okay, it's X99.
Oh, yes.
You should have figured that out.
Are we still on X? I mean, I stripped the CPUs out of my last X99 box to put it in a shadow box on my wall.
Yeah. I still do stuff with X99. I mean, one of my node servers is my X79 box. So, and that's been happily chewing away at my Homelab and doing fantastically well. I am more than happy with that deployment. I've got 5 of the 8 nodes currently active. The entire server is drawing about 250 watts. It's running Plex. I've got 2 of the nodes with Intel A310s for transcode. One of them's running Plex. I was running a second Plex node, but I'm actually looking at taking it down. I was going to run Jellyfin, but then Jellyfin's founders decided to abandon the project, so I don't know that I want to invest time into...
Really? I had no idea that happened.
Literally yesterday.
Wow.
That came out, yeah.
Where is Salvation now? MB?
MB maybe, but MB looks like they're also treading the Plex line kind of close, so I don't know.
So just live with Plex is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, like I was genuinely excited to give Jellyfin a try and be able to do an apples to apples. Here's one node running Plex, here's another node running Jellyfin with the same encoder, same CPU, same network setup, same.
I'm surprised that they didn't want to do it because it didn't seem like money was really an issue. They weren't taking donations.
Right.
So maybe it just became a situation where it became too demanding and it wasn't fun anymore.
Uh, 2 days ago, Jellyfin's entire leadership steps down, leaving open source media server project in a fragile state. It is open source. You could probably fork it and someone could pick it up, but is anyone going to pick it up and actually work on it? And that's the question.
Well, see, this is why you need a AMD Ryzen AI Halo.
Yeah.
And you just make the agent maintain it.
Yeah.
That won't go horribly wrong at all.
Right. You say that, what's really funny is I have been starting to delegate out some tasks that I want to see. The best thing that you can do for any open source project is support it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean just become a developer for it. I'm not a coder. I've said that so many times on this channel. But that doesn't mean I can't submit bug reports. That doesn't mean I can't support the project financially. In my case, we're looking at alternatives to Discord right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how long-term I want to trust Discord, especially as that is the reason I have people give me money in the first place through Patreon.
Right.
Which, by the way, there's Patreon changes that are happening right now. That we've been having that conversation in my Discord for this week about like, hey, Patreon subscriptions are going to change. What do we want that to look like? You know, but I have someone in my community who was interested in getting Matrix and Fluxer set up to kind of experiment with as open source Discord alternatives. And he goes, man, I really wish I had a GP10 to chew on to kind of accelerate this. I said, I have two that are sitting in my rack right now. I gave him VPN access to them, and he's been chewing away on that. So I'm not actively developing it, but I did provide tools to someone who is.
Right.
And so we can all help. We can all, and this is how open source projects survive, is everyone supports them in whatever way they can. So who knows? Maybe once we're done with that, I'll reallocate the GB10s, and some other developer will take up the torch, and they can start working on Jellyfin.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because these are projects that are important to me. You know, I've talked about for years, you know, to retouch on it, trying to get my community access to hardware that I have access to, and you know, getting some real world results from it.
Speaking of X99 being a fantastic entry point,
yeah.
I mean, it's long in the tooth, but it's a good starting point.
Still a good starting point.
It's so inexpensive.
Yep.
Well, it used to be. The DDR4s.
It's crept way back up. Yeah. But man, there's so much opportunity for me to like toss a couple GPUs into a rack and go like, hey, who's working on this project? Go for it. Here's your little box, and off you go. And if that's a way that I can contribute to open source development and things like that, happy to do it.
Are you still doing that with the View 100s?
We haven't quite deployed those yet. We did some testing on them, but that is the goal probably in the next couple of months, is to start getting community access to those.
Nice.
So yeah. I was mapping it out as far as like, how do I want to divvy up access to them? One of the ways that I was thinking of is do another Patreon tier. Patreon decided to rejigger their whole subscription fee, and so maybe that's going to be a tier on the Patreon. Hey, do you want infinite access to an AI box? Subscribe to this tier of the Patreon. Electricity costs me 7 cents a kilowatt hour. Like, you can burn tokens till whenever. If I get enough subscribers on, you know, we'll probably, Yakto says, my power bill weeps. But if we get enough subscribers, it can pay for infrastructure like that.
Right.
And so that, you know, we could probably allocate so many tokens per month, and I know OpenStack and other similar services have allocations for that. So yeah, now we're actively looking at how do we want to spin that up and what's it going to cost. So I need to make money on it too, but this could be again a great way to get tools into people's hands to get them start to play with things. Can AMD throw me a couple MI455Ps? You know, can we get people access to those? You know, I've got the 8-way V100 box. I've got a couple of GB10s. I've got a couple Strix boxes.
Right.
You know, hey, do you want to take some stuff for a spin? Here's your chance.
Yeah.
Nothing official yet, but hopefully within the next couple of months, I would love to get something out in deployment.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Skull, moderator, chimes in. 01 is going to start having to enforce hearing protection. Actually, funny thing you mentioned that. It is actually now a requirement in YOLO Colo. He has exceeded the decibel rating. Also, for OpenViro, I am considering getting into hearing protection as an environmental sensor, getting decibel readings for server racks. So
yeah, I mean, for now they're still going to be loud.
Yeah.
I do think that liquid cooling is also something that's going to be much more mainstream in 5 years. Right now, I think it's all going to be AI focused.
It's all going to be AI focused. Even then, that takes care of your super high wattage components. That takes care of your CPU, GPU. You've still got things like network cards and chipsets and storage and whatnot. That all still needs actively cooled, and especially when you're dealing with 1U chassis, there's only one way to do that: super high pressure, super high velocity.
Yeah.
So I don't think fans are going anywhere anytime soon, even in liquid cooled racks.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. The thing that surprises people, and this is especially bad on 1Us, how much power on modern 1Us do you think fans can account for?
It's nearly 1/3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be that bad on a 1U.
Yep.
And so the economics, when the facility water is already in the colo, you have to ask Yocto when he's going to get his facility water.
Yeah. Hey Yocto, when are we going to water cool you? Or at least set up like a heat exchanger. Like we can do like the front of rack rad.
A pool heater? Yeah. You could do rear door heat exchangers. This is how a lot of in like 2023 when demand was going up, like Colavor had 200 kilowatt racks using just rear door heat exchangers.
Yeah.
I would hate to walk that hot aisle.
Oh God. Yeah. That would be miserable. Yeah, no, I have considered, even in my rack, doing some form of water cooling heat exchanger, even just to outside ambient.
Not a heated pool?
Not a heated pool, no, probably not. I was going to make a plane joke. Couldn't think of one in time.
The joke never got off the ground.
Oh. He did float there for a while, though. Love you, Luke. It may not fly, but it'll never sink. All right, so we got our favorite things out of the way.
Yeah.
You got a soft spot for Helios. I've got a soft spot for traditional compute, Zen and whatnot. Again, I'm a little disappointed to see such a lengthy rollout over what is ostensibly going to be almost 18 months. It's only July right now, and we're talking about 2027 H2 rollouts for the full lineup of Venice. There is one that is in this lineup that I didn't talk about though. That kind of threw me for a loop. And that is Epyc Verano.
Yes.
This is part of the Venice family, but also not part of the Venice family. It is going to be a 9006, so same SKU lineup as Venice, but it is Verano LP. This is a weird CPU.
Weird coming from an x86 provider, yeah.
Yeah. It is up to 72 cores. It is 24-channel LPDDR5X via SOCAMM 2 sockets.
Yes.
What else do we say about this one?
It looks a lot like Vera.
Yeah.
Or we don't know what it looks like, but it sounds a lot like Vera.
It sounds a lot, yeah, exactly. Is this x86 or is this ARM?
This is x86.
It is x86, okay, yeah.
But Vera uses SOCAMM,
Yeah.
and so it sounds very, very similar. And the application use case that they're peddling it towards is towards AI head nodes.
Yeah.
And so it's like I think power is the only reason it makes sense to use LP, because they want to use more power for the GPUs than the CPU.
Yeah, and this using LPDDR5, especially 24-channel wide, is a way to get more bandwidth and essentially lower your inference latency if you're using this as an AI head unit, and probably a power and a efficiency way to do it as well.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be really, really wild.
Yeah, they are touting even on Verano for this, lower power setup. Still 5 gigahertz on cores.
Yeah.
Shots fired, AMD. But that LPDDR5X 24-channel, they were touting 112 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth, and also super low latency.
I think that's the chip-to-chip GMI.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Right, because the regular Venice that we're getting this year is 1.6 terabytes a second.
Yeah.
On a single socket, which is just wild.
Yeah.
Granted, 16 channels. It's a lot of memory to get there. This, I don't know what this would work out to be, because it depends on how fast the LPDDR5 and how big the bus is, but I'm guessing 2 terabytes a second. Did they say?
If they said, I didn't write it down. And unfortunately, embargo was literally 3 hours ago, so I don't know how many articles are out with the details.
Let me do some math really quick here and see if I can figure it out.
Yeah.
24 times 16 times, let's say 9,600.
Yeah.
So 3.6 terabytes a second.
Okay.
If that math is right.
Yeah. That's the raw theoretical, but yeah. Okay. I could see that. We also didn't talk about memory for Zen 6. Because it's gotten a bit of a bump as well, both RDIMM and MRDIMM.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
RDIMM certified 16-channel 8,000 mega transfer.
That's JEDEC.
Yeah.
That's not overclocked.
Yeah.
That's not your 8,000 mega transfer gaming memory.
That's JEDEC spec.
That's JEDEC spec.
MRDIMM 12,800.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. By the way, also the memory bandwidth specs that they were quoting, the 1.6 terabyte per second bandwidth, that was RDIMM.
No, that's MRDIMM. That's MRDIMM.
I thought that was RDIMM.
No, because the math tracks.
Okay.
Yeah. I can tell you what it is.
Okay. Okay.
It's me again.
Yo.
First right interview.
Excellent.
So I get to bug you guys even more. Did you guys get the silicon?
We didn't get the silicon.
Okay, hold this. Stay here.
Cool. Cheese is gonna go track us down some silicon so we can hold
It's
it.
still a terabyte a second on MRDIMM. Or not on MR. On RDIMM, it's a terabyte a second. On MRDIMM,
it's 1.6. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Cool. It's been a long week. My math wasn't mathing.
I needed a calculator for that one.
Yeah. The other thing we didn't mention, PCI Express 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk about something we won't see in the consumer space anytime soon.
Exactly. Also, there's no need for it. Anyone who tells you otherwise is blowing smoke up your ass. Like, just to not put it lightly. 64 gigabit per second.
Per lane.
Per
lane.
Yeah. Up from, is it 48 on
32.
32. Okay.
No, I get it confused because people do bidirectional bandwidth, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're both right.
Yeah, it's 32. Yeah, 64 gigabits per lane. 32 was Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be enterprise only for quite some time. The reason they need it is all those 800 gig NICs that are being deployed, all of the chip latency that's being handled by things like MI455. A lot is made over PCI Express bandwidth when it comes to like, oh, my GPU performance. Nothing is touching PCI 5 bandwidth. There's not a card in existence that that possibly touches that bandwidth.
There is one exception to that rule.
Yeah.
And it is if you're using multi-card AI,
Yeah.
the bandwidth is a bottleneck.
Yeah.
I love my NVLink bridge on my 23090s for that reason.
Yes.
It doesn't do anything for me other than for AI,
Yep.
but it is really cool looking at it and going,
I don't have two 3090s, but I do have two A5000s with NVLink.
yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, same benefit.
Yep. Jay chimes in $5. Thank you again, Jay, as always. Jellyfin departures seem to have just been about burnout. They're working on successors now. There's zero intention of abandoning the project. That is very good news.
Yes.
But kind of like the article said, it does leave it in a bit of a precarious state right now. So, like I said, I saw the news drop. My brain has been here. But whenever you see the entire leadership group leave, that's not good for a project. So hopefully things exist. Ooh. We have a handler.
Handler and security.
Handler and security, yeah.
There you go.
Excellent. We have some fun stuff to show you. Let me get that up so we can see exactly what we're looking at
I'll
here.
let you point.
Yes, so we have MI455X, the full die, all of that HBM, 432 gigabytes of HBM4. Down here, we've got Venice on Zen 6, all those delicious chiplets. Can we confirm which chip this is specifically? Is this the 256?
I don't believe it is.
Okay.
I don't believe it is.
Okay.
Oh no, that's the high frequency one.
That's the 96.
This is,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So yeah. This is your 96 core Zen 6.
Those chiplets are the ones you might see in Ryzen not too long from now.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, these are the full fat Zen 6 chips. I keep trying to relate it to efficiency. No, these are just Zen 6.
Yes.
The big boys.
Yeah, exactly.
The big ones.
Yeah. And then we've got the Volcano AI NIC. Those are the big old 800 gigabit per second. Yeah, exactly. And then, can you tell us a little bit about the Selena DPU? Because I didn't get much information on that. Is there any? What's your highlight? What's your 1 point?
I'm from the GPU side.
Okay,
so
gotcha. Gotcha.
Do you want me
I
to?
believe we're using it for front end.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what the Selena DPU is doing is it's functionally acting as the interface out to storage.
Gotcha.
So basically, if you have this big old, like a Helios is functionally not going to do anything if you don't have a nice, good storage rack behind it.
Yeah.
And that is what the Selena DPU is powering.
Gotcha.
If Helios is a
Perfect.
giant GPU, Selena is the PCI bus that you connect to it
Exactly.
with. Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. So yeah. We have silicon. We have
Yes.
chips. Lisa likes showing off chips. I like showing off chips too.
And I'm not eating, but they are tasty.
Yeah. What irritated me yesterday is they were showing around the Venice CPU. They had one that was loose, and I said, has Ian already nibbled on it because I want to beat him to it? And they said, no, he got to it first. I'm gonna beat him to one of them eventually. One of them. Can I get the next one? Can I get the next one?
Maybe the next GPU.
The poor
Excellent.
guy who's having to wipe spittle off of the chip.
So, thank you so much for showing
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Appreciate it. Glad we had you to show it online.
Excellent. Yeah, I was talking to one of my PR reps yesterday, and we were reminiscing about us doing this show. You know, that this is the third year in a row we've done this from Advancing AI. Thank you again to AMD for having us out here and allowing us to do this show. But things have changed. You know, the show has gotten so much bigger. And
goodness.
Yeah, we started talking numbers. I think the first show they said they had about 4,000 people. Media, press, invites, everyone, like vendors. It was 4,000 people.
Right.
It was one ballroom that for lunchtime they pulled a divider across the hall, and they're like, okay, everyone go eat. Okay, we're done eating. Okay, let's open it back up. Press, you can go back over there. It was
The demo booth was like a row of tables along one wall.
Yeah,
It was tiny.
It was a very small show. It was a great show, but also at shows like that, you could have Jordan run over to random vendor booths and go, here, let me throw an MI300 on your lap and crap like that. Last year it was about 5,500 people, something like that, a little bit bigger. Yeah. They expanded into the Moscone Center here in San Francisco. Awesome venue. I really like this venue. But they had a vendor floor, but we were basically just on one level and then presentation. This year, unofficially, 12,000 people, 3 floors on this whole facility. They're using basically every square foot that they can possibly get in. And now, when they're showing off chips, they have not only a handler, but also there was a security guard standing right behind us. So
if 12,000 is accurate, we're approaching the size of like bona fide trade shows.
Yeah.
Like supercomputing is in the 14,000.
Yeah,
range.
we're approaching like future memory and storage, which also happens here in the Bay Area. That's 10 to 15,000 usually. This is a bona fide show now. Yeah.
Not quite to GTC levels, but GTC has gotten insane.
Yeah, GTC was 40,000 this year, if I recall correctly. It was 25,000 just like 2 years ago.
Yes, it is more than doubled in size, and they had to have people sweating out in booths out in a parking lot because they didn't have enough room in the SAP Center.
The San Jose Convention Center.
Or the San Jose Convention Center. The keynotes in the SAP Center.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Where the Wi-Fi never works.
Yep.
I told you I'd get you guys silicon.
You did?
Disappoint?
You got me.
did not.
You got me silicon, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Did you give me a beer?
No. Sorry. I can do silicon, I can't do beer.
I had to try.
I will make sure you have a beer in short order.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, George.
Yes.
You are always
I
appreciated.
will stop photobombing your
No,
your
that's
live stream.
anyone's always welcome.
It's fun.
It's
But super cool to see this show grow. I like shows like this. In fact, was you I was talking to, or was it Ian I was talking to? I think you were at the table. I was talking about I'm in early stages of writing a video of what is it like to be not only a YouTuber, but like a journalist / influencer within this space. I had wildly different expectations when I got into YouTube of how this industry works, and I kind of want to do a video explaining what is a review, why do we go to these trade shows, are we just all paid shills, are we this, are we that? You're like, what does the industry actually look like from an insider's perspective? You get all your hardware for free. Yeah, that's cool. I can't sell any of it.
You can't get rid of it.
You're
stuck with it forever. You can beg them.
You can beg them to take it back.
Yes.
Yeah, but you literally do not own it. You get access to the hardware in exchange for a review, and the hardware lives with you, but it is not yours.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to explain some of that. I get this a lot more on the very, very public YouTube facing side of of course you're going to say good things about DGX Spark or Strix Halo or whatever this thing is. They gave it to you. It's yours for free. Cool. When I'm done with this Strix Halo box, I'll put it on the stack of Strix Halo boxes that are on my shelf that I can't get rid of, that I can't sell, that I can't do anything with. Like, I'm only one person, I can only use so much hardware.
Yeah.
I have 70 GPUs dating back to Pascal that are not mine, that are on my shelf, that are not mine. I will loan I will give away motherboards because I really don't care about motherboards. If Asus comes crawling back for a motherboard, screw you, I gave that to a family member. I will loan out GPUs. I will do permanent loaners on GPUs because they can be recalled at any point. there was a point, I'm not going to name the manufacturer, but there was a manufacturer that recalled 6 years worth of press samples because some of them were being sold and they wanted to know who was selling them.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to name and shame the manufacturer, but there was a manufacturer.
I remember this, yeah.
Who recalled 6 years worth of press samples from every reviewer that they ever gave them to.
Yeah. You're stuck with these until you can convince them to take them back.
Yeah.
Or you can convince them
to let you give them away.
Yes.
Yeah. I've done that a couple of times. I've contacted some people and said, hey, can I give this to someone? And they, yeah, absolutely. You do get that answer sometimes. But yeah, it's a lot of hardware. It's a lot of stuff that's in my garage. I have an entire storage unit, 10 by 10 storage unit filled with hardware that is not mine. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Oh, AMD paid, or NVIDIA paid for your trip, or AMD paid for your trip, Intel paid for your trip. Yes, they paid for a trip out here, and I got time on, one-on-one with engineers and representatives and things like that. That's how we learn these things. It doesn't mean that I'm going to shill for them. Do you know where I'd rather be right now? I'd rather be at home with my family.
Yeah, I was going to say, my time is a lot more valuable than the cost of the hotel stay. It's and especially when you get dragged out to something that's a waste of your time, you feel it.
Yeah. And they paid for your hotel and a nice meal. You know how many nice meals I have a year? It means nothing. It literally means nothing. I appreciate a nice meal, but it doesn't mean I'm going to say good things about you. I've had really, really expensive meals with PR reps in which I tell him his product is a pile of shit. I'm sure you've had that same experience.
And when they still call you, the next week to talk about something, you understand each other well enough to know that it's like, I'm going to be honest, and you might not like it, but it doesn't mean the next product is going to be bad.
Right.
And it's not personal either.
Right. Yeah. The reason they want relationships with reviewers and journalists and people like us is for that honest feedback. Is there a blind spot? Is there a piece of the market that we missed? Are we marketing to the wrong people? Is the hardware functioning to expectations? We can do anything we want in a lab, but once it's in people's hands and they start using it, it's out of their control. Does it work the way they expect? Is our marketing accurate?
And if you never have a negative review, then what weight does a positive one have? There's no value to your opinion because everything's always good when you touch it.
Right.
I mean, so you have to be critical of these things and hold everybody to account. A non-tech, I miss them dearly.
Yes, very much so.
And we still see Ryan Smith from Serve the Home periodically. Yeah. He's here this week.
Yeah, he's here.
They coined this phrase of there's no bad product, there are only bad prices. And I believe that, and I think about what was the crazy Ryzen chip, the X3D2.
Oh, the 9950 X3D2.
It's like it is the best Zen 5 consumer CPU that you can get. That's not Threadripper.
Yep.
I still said my headline was still gratuitous overkill with a price to match.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yes, it is the best CPU that a consumer CPU you can buy from AMD. You should not buy it.
Right, exactly. But that's also not a negative review. A non-recommendation is not a negative review of a product.
Right.
It just means it's really expensive, or it doesn't meet this criteria or use case,
or there's no market for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which in this case, there's really not a market for it.
Yeah.
People asked for it, and I feel like AMD is like, fine, we'll make it so you shut up and stop asking for
fine,
it.
Fine, we'll put 3D V-Cache on the second die. Will you shut up now? Sometimes that's what it is, and they won't make very many of them, and they'll sell it to the people who wanted it, and that's how you do business. It's an interesting business. There's interesting ethics about it. There's so many things that to a consumer sound really stupid. Of like, I get a lot of hardware for free. That doesn't mean I'm giving it a good review. That doesn't mean anything.
You're paying with your time, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then it's not really really an exchange because, like you said, you don't get to keep it.
Yeah.
Or it's not yours.
It lives at home.
It lives in your home and takes up space, and you pay for a storage unit for stuff. The one that coming from the over 10 years in journalism, I get and it still makes me laugh every time somebody asks. And we get asked this all the time. It's like, so how often do your journos just make up quotes? And it's like, no, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
We might massage things if you were stuttering through it, but you can still tell what they're saying.
Yeah.
But like even then, it's pretty light.
Yeah. I've approached a couple of people when I've needed direct quotes and say, is this exactly how you want me to post it? Like, do you want to mix a word here? Like, live interview is one thing. Oh, there goes the light. They're sending us off. No, it's okay to approach someone who you interviewed and say, hey, this is the quote I'm publishing. Is this accurate?
Yeah, because I mean, and that's kind of the question that you get is that. And different journalists have different philosophies on how to handle quotes. My opinion is you post it pretty much the way they said it.
Yeah.
You might take out, like.
Yeah.
But you leave the sentence intact.
Yeah.
But you're not being like, I'm going to paraphrase you and then put quote marks around it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay.
That's not a quote.
And that's not a thing
Right.
that any self-respecting journalist is going to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we get asked all the time. It's like, so how often do you make up quotes? It's like, no. But people don't understand that, like, the quote marks mean quote.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can power my light back on.
I had once an executive who said, I never said that. And I said, I didn't quote you as saying that. What I did was put the three quotes of what you did say in context.
Yeah.
Which did say that. It's called a paraphrase.
Yeah. All right, we're backlit as heck, but at least you can see us again. So cool. Yeah. No, it's one thing to like paraphrase someone and say, in my opinion, they said this, or this is the gist of what they were getting to. But you don't put quotes around that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't put quotes around it.
Yeah. So yeah, no, there's so much to talk about that I think is so misunderstood. One of my favorite comments that I got, and I know I shouldn't read the comments and take all of them seriously, but in my Steam Machine review, where I talked about the Steam Machine and I didn't even have, for reference, I didn't even have Steam Machine in my hand. I looked at performance metrics that I was seeing, the same as all of you, and I posted an opinion about it. It was more of an op-ed, less of a review.
Right.
And it was kind of, again, like holding journalism, like shining some light on what we do as reviewers and the way I think of things. But one of the comments that stood out to me was, wow, someone's really trying to get on Valve's payroll. These big companies don't pay us anything.
No.
We have relationships with them, yes. They provide us hardware, yes. They'll fly us to San Francisco for a couple of days so we can talk to their engineers and learn more about their products, yes. That's not money. My family can't eat exposure, or silicon, or RAM, or I wish they could eat RAM.
I would sell it and buy a steak.
Yeah, exactly. But we can't sell it. Yeah. But no, that's not who I'm trying to impress. I don't care if I impress these companies. I just want to be honest because that's what they're looking for.
Right.
They want honest reviews and impressions and reactions to everything that we see and provide. And as long as you're honest, they'll keep calling you back. Whether it's good or bad. I've had to have conversations on the phone with some PR reps about, hey, why did you say this? Well, in my testing, I thought the use case of your product didn't fit the thing that I was reviewing it for. I thought it was a bad fit. And they went, you know what, fair enough. Next review sample's on the way. That's how this industry works, and that's fine. But do you know who I do get money from? Advertisers. And I wish I didn't have to. I wish I didn't have to read ads. This is a long pitch for the Patreon. Join the Patreon, Craft Computing, patreon.com/craftcomputing. Because if you don't want to see ads, I got to get money from somewhere. Like my family's still got to eat. So
I'm very lucky in that respect. We have a sales team, and there's a full separation of church and state.
Yeah,
you're a one-man, army in your own respect, and you have to walk that line. It's tough.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's a little bit freeing because I can, not that you don't fully express any opinion that you have.
One of the highlights of working for the Reg is I can do just that.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there are no repercussions.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there are repercussions, but not from my boss.
Right. Yeah.
From angry folks I've pissed off for telling people things that they don't want them to hear.
I have done that too, but no one signs my paycheck. I don't answer to anyone, and I'm not going to piss anyone off with my opinion as long as my opinion is rooted in truth, and that's the way this industry works. So, full video on that coming up. In fact, I'll probably reach out to you and get some traditional media perspective on it as well, because I think that could be fun to include. I'm looking at including analysts' points of view on how they work with companies, because how they work with companies is also very different, and they get paid by the companies to give them opinions they don't want to hear.
Yes.
So, trying to make that like a educational video. So I'm still going to get the comments about, oh, you Steam, Valve, AMD, NVIDIA, Intel shill. You know what happens when you're a shill for everyone? I wish I got paid by everyone. That would make my life so much easier.
That's consulting.
Yeah.
That's the other side of being an analyst.
Yep.
Get paid by everyone, but you can't tell them what the other guy's doing.
Right.
Just what they should be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Knowing what you know.
Yeah. Vince chimes in with $5. Thank you so much, Vince. I'm playing hooky from work for this stream, so I'm drinking a Cutwater White Russian, 13%. Nice. That sounds... I'm not the biggest White Russian fan, but damn, that sounds good right now.
Anything cold.
Yeah, a
right
little Kahlua cream and vodka. I am so about that right now. I'm gonna see if I can get a White Russian tonight. That just sounds right. Yeah. Thank you for the good idea, sir.
Yes.
And in fact, I'll see Vince on Saturday, so maybe we'll do a White Russian together. That'll be fun. But what's your favorite register? Stack pointer, EAX?
That's a deep cut. With as little sleep as I'm running on right now, I don't have an answer to that. Check back next week.
Mine would be 3D Crosspoint.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Rip Optane.
I'm still running 96, 960p.
906p, yeah. I wish I would have just sprung up and bought like 6 of those when Newegg was clearancing them out.
When they were $300 a pop. And
I wish I just would have thrown down.
Oh my goodness! I mean, $300 for a terabyte, basically a terabyte of storage at that time felt so rich.
Yeah. It felt spendy, but I knew what the value proposition was of 3D Crosspoint. Basically, like, I pimp those Sun F40 drives that will outlast the heat death of the universe, so will those 3D Crosspoint drives.
Oh.
And
yes,
God, to have those in a production workflow right now,
they're nice, yes.
Yeah. I'm so bummed I missed.
The PCI 4 ones that Wendell floats around.
I was literally about to say I need to call Wendell.
Yes.
I need to have a cookie with Wendell.
Yeah. Good luck.
Wendell has the best cookies. Vince says that's exactly why I went for it. It's a nice summer day treat. Exactly. Like, I don't go for the White Russian often, but man, does that sound so good right now. I did make last weekend. I made some gin mojitos, and those hit like something else. Had my 20th wedding anniversary a couple of weeks ago, and went out with my wife for we spent 4 days on the beach, and there's a local distillery. I ended up with a barrel finished gin, and that's what I made my gin mojito with. God, that was good.
It sounds excellent.
Yeah. It's a Painted Lady gin. I'm trying to remember the distillery. It's in Astoria. Pilot House, that's it.
There you go.
Pilot House Distilling, Astoria, Oregon, right on the tip of the Columbia River between Oregon and Washington. Painted Lady barrel finished gin. Now I'm getting thirsty. Jay, $2. Still mad about Intel killing 3D Crosspoint. Yeah. We were talking about them last night as well. That technically, Intel still owns that technology.
Yes.
They were going to sell the entire division to Micron, and then they couldn't come up with a price point that matched, and so they ended up selling just the fab to Micron.
Well, Micron owned the fab.
Yeah.
Intel had the IP.
Yeah.
And then the issue was the back, the inventory, the unsold inventory.
Yeah.
So I forget how they handled it, but I think Intel ended up writing off of the inventory, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, which is why we got that fire sale.
Yes, which is why we got the fire sale.
Yeah. But man, if ever there was a technology to spin backup right now that might slow the RAM and storage crisis, specifically the storage crisis.
Well, yeah, because AI systems use storage in a really terrible way.
Yes. They are hell on SSDs.
Right, so KV caching, this is basically the model short-term memory. Once that fills up on the GPU, you start ejecting that to system memory. Not a problem at that point, because system memory is really hard to kill. It's designed to be written to forever.
Yeah.
But once that fills up, that gets pushed over the network, over one of the Selenas and Helios, or over a Bluefield or whatever, to a storage server that's running on NVMe.
Yep.
With a finite number of writes.
Yep.
And sure, on 24 bays across it, you have to do a lot of writing to kill it, but they're doing a lot of writing.
Yeah. The number that AMD was floating out right now that is independently vetted and sourced was, right now AI data centers are doing 35 quadrillion tokens per month.
Yes. And the number keeps going up.
Yeah.
Damn you, vibe coders.
But man, if there was a possibility that Optane could come back, man, that would be. I have in my possession quite a few terabytes of Optane DIMMs. I want someone to engineer a CXL card that'll take my Optane DIMMs.
Right.
That's all I want.
I imagine it could be done.
I bet it could.
You can just run a RAM disk on the old Xeon Gold, and
yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Run it over the network.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing actually. Is throwing, like, 768, maybe a petabyte or a terabyte worth of that in there, because I have 2.4 terabytes of 128s, and then I have another terabyte of 512s. I've got two 512s and like 20 of the the 128s. So if I could find a chassis that I could
just like flashing Benjamins right here.
I know, I know. I did buy the 512s, and I played around with that back when I was doing crazy stuff with the 45 drive server. That was a lot of fun. But then a benefactor on the channel stopped me at a random PDX LAN and handed me, I kid you not, a Ziploc bag full of Optane.
Wow. What genie did you find? They just right place at the right time.
I don't know, but apparently I rubbed him the right way. So.
Boom, phrasing.
How's that for a Christina Aguilera joke? Hey, we got light.
We got light again.
All right, cool. And these terrible stools. These things suck. Yeah, so the problem is you can only run them on Cascade Lake X.
Yeah.
And there's still a configuration that you have to run them in. You have to run them in somewhere between an 8:1 to 4:1 ratio with the CPU to actually like fully utilize them, get full bandwidth and everything else. If I'm using the 128s, I've got to find a board that has 24 DIMMs. Like it's a whole thing, and you can't mix and match sizes, so I couldn't put the 512s in that box. It would have to be the straight 128s, which is still, if I can
Homelab problems.
Yeah, Homelab problems, right. So I have been actively looking for a board simply to spin up so I could play with some stuff on it.
There you go.
So that's a lot of power draw for 2 terabytes of flash, though. Now it's 2 terabytes of basically infinitely writable flash.
Right. So now you just need to get your own 2 400 gig NICs and
Right.
just direct connect with
Well,
it.
I've got a couple of those.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Just direct connect it down to my Turin box, and then use
you go.
that as my write cache for all my AI stuff. That's a thing. That could definitely be a thing.
That's a rabbit hole.
I mean, that's what I do.
You walk into you're giving a demo of your Homelab and be like, "Welcome, this is my jank."
Slap server, you can fit so much jank in here. Fit so much jank in this bad boy. Green sends over $2. 100 gig network, golden image booting VMs on Optane. Actually, that was one of my original use cases for Optane, because the random latency reads on Optane is so incredibly fast.
Right.
Like, do this. Run Crystal Disk Mark on your NVMe drive, on like a Gen 5 NVMe drive, and you'll get 12 gig per second sequential reads. And then you'll get a gig per second 4K random. And then you get to the bottom of that list, and it's 70 megabyte.
Yeah.
Do that on an Optane DIMM. Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 gigs per second sequential. It's also 900 megs random. And so for an OS boot drive, it is the fastest, most responsive boot drive you could ever imagine. And you could run 24 VMs off a golden image and do just differential writes on them.
Yep.
And
Wouldn't care.
yeah, it'd be happily chooching along on all 24 of those. So yeah, no, that was legit my original use case for all those Optane DIMMs, was to run any VM I want off a cloned image. Still might. Still might one day. Actually, what's really funny is the Optane DIMMs haven't gone up in price that much because the use case is so specific.
Yes.
You can only run on Cascade Lake X. You can only run them in this way. You can only do these things with them.
Yeah, I would hate to be the scalper who's like, I'm gonna get so rich off of this memory. It's special memory.
Right.
And then it's like, why is nobody buying this?
Yeah, I kept waiting for it to bottom out, and it never quite got to the level that I wanted it to. I did pay, I think $1 a megabyte, or $1 a gig for the 512 sticks that I bought. I spent about $1,000 on it.
Wow. That's commitment.
Yeah, it was fun. I wanted the. I saw the thumbnail in my head before I clicked buy, and it was 1 terabyte of RAM, because that's a thumbnail people click on, and they did. So it worked out. Now, I think I only made like $140 from that video for AdSense. So again, life of a YouTuber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not my best investment.
Great headline.
Yeah.
I can imagine quite a few people saw that and was like, yep, and I will never do the same thing.
Yeah. I also want to talk about like speaking back to like my sponsored and review post video, I also want to talk about like the economics of doing a YouTube channel, because AdSense is primarily what pays for most of the videos, and some of my best videos get like $100, $200. Like, that's what I make for that video. And then I do a sponsored piece and they're like, I can't believe you did a sponsored piece. How the heck do you think I finance the rest of the videos? Like, that's how that works. You're not going to the register and clicking on the article and then complaining that there's an ad at the bottom, are you? Like, we all have to eat. We all have to make money.
Yeah.
Freaking shill for whoever your sales team found.
Yeah. It's the lovely thing about having a separation between church and state is we get a sponsor, it comes down. Usually it's a theme.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be like, it's like AI infrastructure month this month.
Yeah.
I get zero direction.
Yeah.
It's like, my boss comes and like, we need this many stories. I'm going to write those stories anyway.
Yeah.
And there's no direction in terms of like what I have to write about, or
Yeah.
sales team wants to have this many stories to place sponsored posts next to. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. And Bearded IT Dad shows up and says, and AdSense keeps dropping. Yes, AdSense keeps dropping as well. Raid Shadow Legends is the backup after all. At one point, I asked my audience, at what point is it acceptable for me to do a Raid Shadow Legends ad? Like, I'm not going to say, oh, I downloaded this really cool mobile game and you should try it and blah, blah, blah. I will never be disingenuous about I use a product or I don't use a product. Like, I have my own ethics around how I do ad reads and who I will do ad reads for. Cool. I had actually at one point negotiated with Raid Shadow Legends to do an ad read. I ended up not doing it. I wanted them to buy me a crap ton of hard drives, and the whole thing was Raid. I was going to tie in Raid Shadow Legends with Raid.
Raid Shadow copies.
Yeah, Raid Shadow copy, Raid is not a backup, like all the Raid puns that I could possibly think of throughout the video. You do a 1-minute ad read, you call it a day, but they pay for me the ability to do that video. Is that ethically wrong? No. Would my audience still hate it? Yes. Welcome to being a YouTuber. Like, but meanwhile, you can go onto Google and whatever sponsored clicks go up, and
Yeah.
you know, or
And
whatever.
now you don't even know because it's all the
You know.
AI summary at the top. It's like
It's
you don't
all-
know what's sponsored or not.
It's all AI summary, or you're watching, you know, whatever basketball or football game, and it's all brought to you by DraftKings, and no one seems to have a problem still watching the sports program, but I have to be more ethically sound than anyone else out there. Welcome to life as a YouTuber. Yeah, it's so much fun. Let's see, what else we got? We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. We'll probably wrap it up here in about the next 10 minutes. Is there anything you guys want to know? Is there anything that was talked about during the conference this week that you guys saw that we didn't cover, you want to hear a little bit more on? Do you have any generic questions for us? We'll use the last 10 or 15 minutes for kind of some Q&A. I will say, my one complaint this year about the conference in general, the quality of the food went down.
Yes, last year's food was better.
Last year's food was incredible, and I have given AMD such props. AMD has had the best food year in, year out of any conference that I go to. Anything AMD sponsored is always fantastic food. The quality was a notch down this year, noticeably. So that will be feedback we will be giving.
I think it might have also been a communication issue because there might have been good lunch somewhere, but
Yeah.
I had no idea where it was.
There was meals downstairs, but there were also meals upstairs. The box meals upstairs were god-awful. I didn't eat lunch yesterday, and today I went and got Chipotle. So
Thank you again for that.
you're welcome. Yeah. We're both like, God, we need to eat lunch, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to Chipotle. Do you want anything from Chipotle? And he goes, Oh God, good food, actual food. Let's see. Better or worse than GTC? Different objectives for me coming into this one. Every trade show, every vendor showcase, especially like single vendor showcases, I come in with notably different objectives, especially depending on what are they showing off. With NVIDIA this year, the reason I went to GTC, NVIDIA has sponsored my GTC coverage previously as far as like flying me out there. This year they did not do that. They went way down on press this year. This year, Verta wanted me to go out there, and Verta, who has sponsored the channel before, they were in person. They wanted to meet up in person and you know, shoot the crap for 30 minutes, and then they also sponsored the coverage. I'm happy to do that. So flew down, and again, I like covering on the channel everything that's data center and down, not AI specific. So not Helios, not Blackwell rack, anything like that. This year it was all B300 and teases of Vera, and so I'm like, there's nothing really for me here. So my goal at that conference this year was find what are people actually using AI for? Find vendors willing to talk about genuine use cases. And out of the 80 vendors, I found 4. So it wasn't great. I was not happy with GTC this year because it was so much spin up an AI chatbot and have agents do all your work for you and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that's not how people are actually working outside of, you know, replacing call center workers, which I hate. Here, I was hoping to hear a little bit more about Venice. We did get some, but not all the details that I wanted. GTC is a bigger event. There's bigger showcases. There's more vendors. But advancing AI, definitely up and coming. Way bigger than it has been in years past. A lot of really cool things I saw on the show floor. I'm doing a little bit of. I don't think I'm going to do a dedicated video, but it was great to be able to go and see some of the things that partners are bringing out.
Right.
What do you think?
I would say that the technical depth that AMD brings in terms of the disclosures we get, being able to dig into how all of the stuff works and why they're doing it the way that they're doing, AMD has always been very good at that.
Yes.
And NVIDIA has almost gotten shy. Like, they don't want people looking too closely, either because it's not really finished, or they've had to make some compromise that they don't want you to notice.
Yeah.
And so it is, I would say that they're both really difficult conferences to cover.
Yeah.
Because the turnaround is just brutal.
Yeah. We didn't get slides or briefings until Wednesday morning with a Thursday morning embargo.
Yeah.
By the way, the day is also jam-packed with us getting briefed on product and technical deep dives and meeting with engineer teams and things like that. There's also a show floor to go see, and I have vendors that I want to see on the show floor, and you know, partnerships and things that I want to continue over there, and make all those people happy. You know, and then you go to bed, you wake up in the morning. Guess what? There's a 3-hour-long keynote session.
Wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was
It was 2 hours.
2.5. It was 9 to 11:30.
9:30. They started at 9:30.
9:30. Okay.
It wasn't. It's not a Jensen keynote.
They also ran late.
They did.
It was noon when the music was still playing, so it was still genuinely 3 hours.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
The keynote was fine.
Yeah.
The length.
It was a good keynote.
Yes.
Yeah, not to take away from it. But the embargo lifted at 11:30 in the morning. And so when are we supposed to not only understand all the things that we got drilled into our heads, but then sit down, write? How am I supposed to write, shoot, edit, publish a video? How are you even supposed to write, edit, and publish an article?
You don't sleep.
You don't sleep, right, exactly. And so we all got to bed sometime between midnight and 2 a.m. And then I had to wake up at 6 to go get breakfast to get over here for the keynote.
Yep.
And so, yeah, this is not a vacation. It's a nice hotel. I'll give them that. But I've stayed in a lot of nice hotels, and it didn't make me say nice things about the company either. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say that they're both good conferences, but
Very much so.
they're very different conferences. The approach that they're each taking is different because their market position is wildly different.
Their market position is wildly different. The products they make are wildly different to certain extents. AMD is... I think AMD is the most well-positioned because they have the fullest product stack as far as what is in demand from consumers and data centers and enterprise right now.
Yes, if the bubble pops, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine. If the bubble pops, Intel will be fine because Intel still makes x86. Right now, they don't have an AI product to compete.
Yeah, they're bankrolling Sambanova, which looks like it does have a product finally. Well, I mean, again.
Yeah. NVIDIA is going to be less fine. NVIDIA is going to be fine. NVIDIA is not going anywhere if the bubble pops. I mean, right now it's a gold rush, and they're the ones selling shovels and maps. But you know, that product division will take a serious tumble, but they still make graphics cards and things like that. But Intel and NVIDIA don't make holistic top-to-bottom stacks in every single market, and AMD does. And so
NVIDIA's working on it.
Yeah, they're
trying to.
Yeah, they're starting to. There's a reason they wanted to buy ARM.
Yep.
I mean, full stop. But that means any event that I go to with Intel, it's lacking on AI data center, but they have a lot of enterprise, a lot of consumer to show us. If I go to an NVIDIA event, they have a lot of data center and sometimes some consumer stuff, but no enterprise, no data center, no individual CPU, no individual node. There's none of that. There's none of the in-between stuff with them. And so what you have to cover varies wildly from one to the other. And it's not because we're favoring one, it's just they have different things.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of talk about the agentic CPU. It's like, there's not really an agentic CPU. There's not one CPU to rule them all in the data center. There never has been.
Yeah.
agents are just orchestrating workloads that we've all been running forever, and so it's a bit silly. It's a vibrant ecosystem, and we're just calling it new things.
Skull says, so you're saying that you bribed Tobias to be on the show with Chipotle? That's exactly what I did. I filled his belly, and now he can't move. So now he has to sit in a chair for 2 hours. and do something a traditional media guy doesn't do: talk.
I have you've known me for long enough to know that you have to put beer in my hands to shut me up.
That's exactly.
Actually, that doesn't work at all.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. Adam Patrick Murray, nerds. Hi, buddy. So yeah, no, it's fun. This is such a weird industry to be in. It's such a weird time to be in the industry in general. Anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm at an advantage that people ask me, what do you do on your YouTube channel if they're like trying to get to know me, and like, why are you here at this event? And it's like, I cover everything. I cover everything top to bottom, and that's kind of the benefit of my channel, and the way I designed it the way I did is, I started trying to be a gaming channel for the first 6 months, and then I'm like, well, heck, I wonder if anyone has any interest in, this little server I run in my closet. And people are interested in the Homelab thing? Cool, I'll talk about Homelab. You know what? I might as well bring some of my data center experience and enterprise, stuff. Let's start talking about that a little bit more. And so I expanded what I cover to cover the full breadth of things that I'm genuinely interested in. That also means when the consumer market sucks, which it does right now, I can pivot over to data center. When data center sucks, which sometimes it has a couple times in the last 4 or 5 years, I can pivot hard into gaming. Or if I just get bored with something, I can cover something else for a while. So I have some certain advantages in the way that I do things and what I cover on the channel, because this channel has always been literally me in my basement drinking beer, talking about things that I find interesting. That's the way I like it.
Combine the things you love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mentioned, I also open a pint of beer in every episode, and they're like, damn, I wish I thought of that first. And now anyone else who does is copying me, so. Yeah. DMCA's inbound. You heard it here first. I have an embargo on beer-based tech reviews. All right. Well, I think that is about going to do it. I think about 20 minutes or so. They're actually going to... We should have done the show later, because they're actually going to start serving alcohol here on the show floor in about 20 minutes. So I'm here for that. But that means I'm going to pack up, and we're going to go have a couple drinks. So thank you. This has been so much fun.
Thanks for having me. We've been trying to make this happen for far too long, and I'm glad that we finally found ourselves in the right place to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to have you on a little bit more regularly if this is something you had fun with. So yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for watching episode 442, I think, of Talking Heads. Join us usually every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news right here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, do all those engagement things. That genuinely helps out the channel. If you want to see more of Tobias, I did link his profile on the register down in the video description. I did so without his permission, so we'll see. We'll see how many clicks he gets and what his sales team thinks about his sudden increase. Oh, Tobias got really popular this week.
Why is his profile getting?
Yeah.
What's going on?
He was at that AI conference. I wonder if he bought in something. If you like the content you see on the channel, want to help support us in what we do, consider joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. Now, disclaimer, we will be changing up some subscriptions here in the next couple of months because Apple doing Apple things on the Pay Store, so we will be changing that up. But you can subscribe now, and we will talk about different subscription models here probably in the next 2 months or so. We'll get that all ironed out. That might come with access to some AI servers, so let me know if you're interested in that, either down in the comments below or hit me up on Discord. The only way to do that, join the Patreon. Thank you all so much. Thank you again, and as always, we'll see you next week. Cheers, everyone.